Welcome to the Northern Powerhouse interview series, where we're unashamedly spreading good news by interviewing Northern businesses and their successes during the pandemic. Subscribe to be notified of new interviews or click the link in the description to take part if you'd like to be interviewed yourself in a future episode.
Afternoon, welcome to Northern Powerhouses Business Success Stories. And we're joined by Sheree Jenman this afternoon, who is the director at Bluebird Cares. So thank you ever so much for joining us this afternoon and for having a chat with us, talking to us about how things have been over the last year.
Thank you.
Can I just start off by asking you to introduce yourself properly to us, and can you tell us a little bit more about what it is that you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So thanks for having me on. So I'm Sheree Jenman. I'm the director of Bluebird Care in Leeds North, and we are a home care company. So we provide care and support to adults and children who with a whole range of needs in the Leeds community. So we provide anything from a 30-minute visit to check in and see how people are doing, kind of like a well-being check, right up to full-time living care as an alternative to care homes, and everything in between. So whatever our customers need to help them to stay safe and happy and independent at home, we'll tailor a care and support package with that customer and help them with whatever it is they need so that they can stay at home for longer. So typically our support involves things like supporting people with their morning routines, getting up and out of bed, getting dressed, bathing, choosing their breakfast, either making it with them or making it for them, help with their medication, so applying creams and helping them with their tablets, that kind of thing. We can do sort of more in-depth personal care, so helping people with their continence needs and things like that. And then whatever their day looks like, we can help them with how that works, how they want that to run. So it might be that we come back at lunchtime and we help them prepare a meal, and we have a cup of tea with them, and we stay for a chat. And a lot of what we do is about companionship. So although there's a lot of practical support in our visits, the crucial point is the companionship, having somebody that's there, that's looking out for them, having a good conversation, a good natter and a cup of tea with them is really important. So we'll do housekeeping, we'll feed the birds for them, we'll do whatever it is that helps them stay happy and safe in their home, so we can visit for as long or as short as people need it. And we tailor those packages with our customers staying in full control of that support, and we love what we do.
So, I mean, you mentioned the companionship there. I mean, I can only assume that over the course of the last year, that's been even more vital to your clients than before. I mean, how has the pandemic affected you and the team, and what do you guys do?
Well, it's affected us hugely. We've operated right throughout the pandemic, so we've never stopped, because we're an essential service, we're a social care provider, so all of our customers are vulnerable in some way and absolutely need the support that they were receiving from us. So companionship absolutely has been key, because as we know, lots of people have not been able to see their loved ones for months and months and months on end, and sometimes their Bluebird care assistants were the only people that they were seeing, and so that interaction for them and for us was just incredibly important to help them keep their spirits up and to help them with their well-being. So not just the practical elements of things that we're supporting with, but having a friendly face, somebody to talk to, and lots of the times a member of our teams would take out their laptops and help them set up Zoom and Teams meetings with their loved ones so that they could communicate, because not all of our customers can use they can't always use laptops. It's quite new for everybody, isn't it, going on Zoom and doing meetings, whereas for some of our customers, they're of a generation where it's not something that's part of their daily life. So we would set up those meetings. We have a customer who all of their family is in New Zealand, so we'd regularly go around and support him with whatever he needs, set up the laptop so he could talk to his daughter in New Zealand, and just made him really happy just being able to have that contact, and for us to be able to facilitate using whatever technology we've got, that continued connection with our customers' loved ones. So yeah, hugely important.
So I would imagine that you guys have had to make huge adaptations to the way you work in terms of keeping both your clients safe and keeping the team safe. So what kind of adaptations have you had to make to the business over the course of the pandemic?
Lots and lots. So because we're regulated by the Care Quality Commission, one of the key priorities for home care providers and things that we have to demonstrate is that we're a safe provider anyway. And so infection control has always been a very key part of that. So we are used to working in an environment where we're using PPE. However, obviously with the pandemic, it brought that additional huge real risk of either our customers or our staff transmitting or being infected with COVID-19, and with our customers all being very vulnerable, it was just incredibly important that we were as safe as we possibly could be. So obviously PPE is a big thing. So we'd wear PPE before, so we'd typically wear aprons and aprons and gloves. With the pandemic, there was the introduction of masks, and in the early days, it was quite difficult to get hold of. There wasn't much guidance around for home care providers around exactly what our care assistants, our team, need to be wearing, and it was a bit of a minefield, to be honest, to try and figure out what the right guidance was. That came later, but obviously nothing's instantaneous, is it? Kind of, you have to wait for the guidance to be out and then implement it. So that was really challenging in the first sort of few months, because we were waiting for that guidance to come out, but it wasn't there yet because it was new for everybody. So we knew that we had to act very quickly and kind of not wait for no handout for the government. Now we get PPE free, and we have done for some time, but at the time, kind of like February going into March, no PPE was available to us free. So we were kind of trying to be proactive by thinking, right, okay, we're going to need face masks, we need to source it, and there was quite a shortage. You could get it, but it was incredibly expensive at the time, and we just knew we had to get a number of key suppliers on board, and they had limits on how much you could order each week or sort of every month. So we had kind of loads of suppliers where we were saying, right, we've ordered from these last week, we need to order from these next week, so that we had this we had plenty of masks and face visors for our care assistants, and that was really important for us, not only to keep our customers safe, but to reassure our team that this is coming. We don't exactly know what the guidance is going to be, but we need to keep you as safe as possible, and whatever that costs in terms of PPE, we're making that investment. And it was a huge cost to begin with, and I genuinely worried about how we would sustain that cost going forward if we didn't have sort of support from the government, which did come in time, which was gratefully received. But so we were kind of on it, I suppose, proactive in terms of thinking, right, we've got to get everybody everything they need to reassure the team and reassure our customers that we are a safe provider, but we are safe as possible in COVID. And that was really difficult because the fear was real for everybody. And for me, we didn't know the extent of COVID at that time. And so, there was a huge amount of pressure on us to kind of make sure that we had everything that everybody needed, with very little guidance in the early stages. So I think some of it was just taking key decisions at that early point.
So what other, it must have been a huge challenge for you guys in terms of being able to source the PPE that you needed to be able to carry out your day-to-day tasks and continue to interact with your clients. What other big challenges have you guys faced? So
there was obviously the confidence in our team. So basically the pandemic came along, a lot of the country came to a standstill, but as we know, key workers carried on. So the NHS carried on, social care carried on. We had no choice. And there was a real concern there for me in the first place to say, are our team going to be able to trust us? Are they gonna be on board with this? Are they willing to put themselves in the face of danger to support our customers? And I really worried about that. But I needn't have worried, because our team are incredibly brave and incredibly resilient, and no one has complained once throughout this pandemic, given the situation they've been working in. You know, they've been working in full PPE, so they're wearing gloves, aprons, masks, and visors sometimes, in really hot conditions, actually, so really difficult conditions. You know, many of our customers are older and like the heating on in their house, even in the summer months. And so somebody going in and supporting somebody with a shower or cleaning the house in full PPE, you don't really think about it, but it's exhausting for them. And never has anyone ever complained about that. They've been so brave. So that was a real challenge for us at the beginning, thinking, are our team going to stay on board with us? And we like to think we had a good team anyway, but you just can't imagine, you know, it's a rational fear for everybody. When it first came along, you don't want to put yourselves at risk, you don't want to put your family at risk, and you don't want to be putting your vulnerable customers at risk. So people were genuinely worried in our team about transmitting COVID to our customers, and so we sort of increased the amount of support that we offer our team. So we're quite a supportive team anyway. We've got a really good structure around kind of one-to-ones with our team meetings and things like that. We had to up the ante. We had to find new ways to communicate. I started putting videos out, update videos when we were making changes and reassuring people. Even if there was no changes, I'd come on and say, just tell them there was no changes, they were all doing great. We'd keep in touch with them via phone. We'd be checking in with everybody in our team to make sure, you know, they were symptom free, that if they were vulnerable themselves, that we had measures in place to support those members of the team. And so that was really time consuming, all of that, but really worthwhile. And I think that really helped us. I think it really helped the team have faith in how seriously we were taking their safety, and everybody pulled together. We were kind of doing more newsletters, more updates on our Facebook group, just more and more communication than we'd ever done. And I think coming out of this, all of those things are going to still continue. So we've now got lots of different ways in which we communicate. So I think that's something we've improved on throughout the pandemic. So yeah, there's been lots of measures we've put in place. We've had to supply more. We sort of wanted the team to have faith in us, so we went sort of above and beyond about the protective equipment that they were given. So Public Health England, for example, require you to wear the PPE, but we thought, well, what can we do to go above and beyond? What can we do to really show our team that they've got everything they need? So we put them all together, these packs where they had, you remember when you couldn't get hand wash you couldn't get hand wash for a while, could you? So we kind of like stockpiled with our suppliers on antibacterial hand wash, sanitizer, antibacterial garment spray, lots of kitchen rolls so that they could be drying their hands on paper towels rather than towels in people's homes. Lots of kind of different antibacterial products that they had in this little kit, and then they would come in and replenish it, and they get like free refills for all of that stuff. And that was quite costly to the business, but we felt that was really important, and we sort of promoted that to our customers, that our team have got this kit. And lots of our colleagues had said, you know, it was really reassuring that we weren't only providing the kind of basic stuff, that we were providing all this extra kit as well, and they could come and get their free refills and everything. So yeah, just investing just loads of time in the early days, kind of just trying to think, what can we do to stay a strong team and combat that fear, because we had no choice but to carry on for our customers and also for the livelihoods of our colleagues as well.
It sounds like you had to adapt very quickly and make a lot of decisions, but very very early on. How do you feel as a leader of the business how do you feel about having to adapt and you know, and be at the forefront and be making these decisions when none of us knew how long any of this was going to last or what was really going to happen. How has it been for you?
It's been really challenging, but not that we would ever have wanted this pandemic to come along, but it's really tested me and really shown me how actually as a team we can get through anything, and it's bonded us kind of even more so. And I feel quite proud, really. I mean, I'm a fairly new business owner in that I purchased the business on the 1st of April 2019. So we'd had a good year of business, and then the pandemic hit. So I've been in care and support in the health and social care sector all of my career, over 20 years, but I'd never owned my own business, and actually leading through the pandemic was really difficult because, you know, like we said, none of us really knew how long it would take to come out of lockdown, and I was also juggling myself with homeschooling and things like that. So I think it's proved to me that I am resilient, and whatever we're faced with, like, we can get through it together. There's always a solution for everything, and I sort of learned that a little bit when I bought the business, because that process of buying the business was the most difficult thing I'd ever done in my life. And when I thought about buying the business in the first place, I thought, how am I going to do this? I don't know how to buy a business. I don't know how to run a business. And so all of the learning and all of the advice that I took during that time, when we got through the other side, I thought, oh, wow, like, got through that. Like, I felt like I could do anything. And I really think that geared me up, actually, for getting through the pandemic, because I thought, well, I've been through something, not that it's on the same scale at all, but for me it was a challenge to buy the business. And I thought, well, if I can get through that, you know, I didn't know anything about that at the start, so we can navigate through this, and I've got really good people around me, and lots of support. And so yeah, I felt strong. I feel strong coming through this now, that we can handle it. We can handle whatever is thrown at us.
Brilliant. What do you think are what can you take away as wins, I guess, from this situation? What are the biggest positives to come out of this for you guys?
I think certainly the strength of our team. I think we've now instilled that faith in our team that I'd like to think we had before, but I think definitely we are a really strong team now. Our customers and our team know that they're safe in our hands, and that's the most important thing for us. We've grown the business. In the early days, or I'd say in the first 3 months of the pandemic, we did see a dip in our business, and that understandably, because people didn't want people coming into people's homes, their loved ones' homes, if they didn't need to. So many people that perhaps had been furloughed or, you know, not working due to the pandemic, decided that they were going to look after their loved one themselves, and quite rightly, completely understandable. And that was a bit of a worry for us in the first place. We were like, you know, how long is this going to continue? Of course, people, you know, we didn't have a leg to stand on. Of course, you don't want other people going into your loved one's home, into your dad's home, or your mum's home. So it did worry us a little bit. But as time went on, we noticed that our customers that had potentially just put their care packages on hold because their family were looking after them and caring for them, they were starting to come back to us. Because it's really difficult caring for people, isn't it? It's absolutely exhausting. And some of the family members of our customers were fatigued, they were tired, they'd been navigating themselves through the pandemic, they were looking after their loved ones for all of that time that was required, and they were tired, and their own well-being was suffering. So we saw our customers starting to come back to us, the ones that had kind of taken a break, which was really reassuring. And we worked with those families to make sure that they knew that, you know, we were reducing the number of people that would be going into those customers' homes. We'd be getting tight care teams around them, so that contact was minimised with different people. They could see how much we were taking care with our infection control measures, and we kept our customers informed just as much as we kept our team informed. So we were distributing videos and newsletters and lots of telephone calls and things like that. So after that sort of initial 3 months, we've seen growth since then. And in a strange way, it's been a real opportunity for us to shine, to demonstrate that we are a safe pair of hands. And so that's been great for us, and we're now we're in a better position financially than we were pre-pandemic, which is great. And I think another win for not just our business but for the health and social care sector in itself is that particularly social care, we've been highlighted, you know, as essential workers, and that's a great boost for our team, because I refer to our care workers, as you like, as care professionals, and I'm really conscious to say that, because they are professionals. They do very highly skilled professional jobs. They need clinical skills, they need patience, empathy, they need good housekeeping skills, they need cooking skills, they need conversational skills, they need infection control skills. The amount of training that our team have is immense. You know, they have so much training and they are professionals. And I'm so pleased that that's kind of been brought to the forefront, that people recognise that these people in these roles are doing absolutely vital, incredibly difficult at times and skilled roles. And that can only be a good thing to kind of highlight the sector. I just hope that continues. I really hope that continues, because in the past there's been a bit of a stigma around working in care. Some people see it as an unskilled job, so with not many career prospects. So we'd been working hard pre-pandemic to try and boost the image and get rid of the myths around social care. Like I myself, I think I'm a bit of a success story in care, and so are many members of my team. Like, I worked in mental health in a support work role when I first finished university. So I was on the front line, and I worked my way up, and I've done various different management roles and senior leadership roles. And then I've bought my own business, which I'm just incredibly proud of, and I absolutely love what we do and feel like it's the most rewarding thing in the world. I'm just so in love with it. And, you know, our care manager, the lady who operationally manages our business, she started off with us as a care assistant, and she's progressed to become a registered manager, and many others in our office side of the team have done similar. And I think, you know, there is a great career to be had in social care, and there's, you know, you can typically care assistant work is fairly low paid. We work really hard to make sure that we pay people the living wage and are paid fairly for what they do, amongst having other benefits. But, you know, you can earn a good living in care. You can really progress. You can do all sorts of different things. You can enter nursing if you want. If you want to go into that more clinical side of things, you can go into occupational therapy and social work. So it's a great career, and I think highlighting our sector has only been positive for that, and I hope that really continues.
The passion that you have for what you do, it just beams out of you. It really does, and you clearly have such an amazing team around you that it just sounds like you have such a fantastic culture, and that it's a real sort of family that you guys work with.
Yeah, we do. Don't get me wrong, you know, we're not perfect, and we have hiccups like every team does.
Everybody does.
We're strong, yeah, and I think partly because we have values-based recruitment, in that we need people with certain personality traits to work for us, because they're supporting people who are vulnerable. So we need people to be caring and patient and empathetic, and we test that out in the recruitment process. So thankfully we've got those people in our team. So actually, when we hit something like the challenge of the pandemic, all of those lovely traits in all of our team members kind of just came out and shone, and everybody just pulled together, and it's a lovely thing to see. And I'm honestly so proud of the team. Like, they're so brave and so resilient. So I've got them to thank for everything.
So what are the team most looking forward to, do you think, as we kind of emerge into this, as the world starts to spin again, as we come out of lockdown and move into the new normal, whatever that looks like? What do you think the team are looking forward to?
We're really looking forward to just having a team meeting face to face
in a room.
because, and I know it sounds a little thing, but we've been doing all of our meetings on Zoom, and quite a few of our care assistants, because they're really people focused, you know, they're not that comfortable on Zoom. I think me and sort of some of the people who work in the office are more comfortable now. We do it quite a lot, whereas for many of our care assistants, they don't do it very often. It's just on a team meeting, so there's that initial like, oh, we're on Zoom, and when I speak, somebody else speaks, and that whole awkwardness that comes with Zoom. It's you can't have the same banter and stuff as you can when you're in a team meeting. So when we used to do our face-to-face ones, we'd make a big fuss of them. We'd have nibbles and lots of treats, and it'd be a really nice get together. We are a dispersed team, and it can be quite lonely sometimes being a care assistant, because you're kind of doing your shifts, and you might come into contact with other care assistants, but sometimes you might not. So actually getting together was lovely. Before, we'd have time before the meetings and after, where people just have a good catch up. And so I'm really looking forward to us being able to do that again. We really want it. Well, we've been nominated for 6 awards in the Great British Care Awards, which we're really excited about. We might not win anything, but even if we don't, it's just really nice to be nominated. Sadly, for those event organisers, they've had to rearrange loads of times. But we are meant to be going on the 21st of July, and so some of our team are going along to that. And we're just really looking forward to getting our glad rags on, just going and having a nice meal, and even if we don't win anything, just getting out as a team really, and having a nice time together. I think one of the other things I'm looking forward to personally in work is getting out to see my customers more, because during the pandemic I've not been able to go and pop in and see them, because obviously you don't want more people than necessary going into people's homes. So before that, if it was somebody's birthday, I might just pop around if I hadn't met them before. I like to keep in touch with our customers. I don't know everybody, but I like to keep in touch. So if it was somebody's 90th birthday, I'd go around and take them some balloons and a card and introduce myself, and we'd have a good natter. And I just haven't been able to do that. And so we've got lots of new customers on board that haven't actually met in person. So actually getting out there and keeping in touch for me is really important. And occasionally I would shadow our care assistants. I'd just go along with them on a shift just to meet customers, but also see what it's like for them. I'm quite conscious that I'm quite a little bit removed now from the front line. So I wanted to see what it was like for them. Do they have everything they need for the job? Have a good chat with them one-on-one to make sure they're happy and they've got everything they need. And I haven't been able to do that. So I'm really looking forward to just getting out a bit more and seeing people on a face-to-face basis. And I'm looking forward to a holiday when we can go.
Oh, I am with you on that one, Sheree. What exciting things does the future hold for you guys?
Oh, I'm so excited for the future, because we're now in a position where we've recruited a couple more members of our office-based colleagues, and we're in a really great position for growth, and we're growing nice and gradually, and we'll be looking at new office premises soon. And so we're just really looking forward to more growth, more success in our team, developing the people that are in our team, continuing to do that. More of this. Even though we've been through the pandemic, we've still been loving every moment of it. Okay, you have your doubt. Overall, I love what I do, and I know many of my colleagues love what they do too. So it's more of the same, but a bit more face-to-face stuff as well.
And my last question for you, Sheree, is everything that you've experienced and that you've learned and gone through yourself and with the team over the last year, if you could pick sort of the biggest learning to take away that kind of resonates with you the most, what would it be?
I think it's to have faith and not be frightened. Know that generally people are good, and generally people come together and help each other out. So I think, that people are good, and we'll get through anything. Everybody pulls together in difficult times, and to have faith in that. And I think that helps us stay strong for whatever the future brings.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much for chatting with us and sharing your stories and your experiences and yeah, learning from you and the team from the last year. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, Sheree. Speak to you soon. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. What was your takeaway from today's interview? Please post it in the comments below and subscribe for all our upcoming videos or click for the next video here.